Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. Today I am doing the challenge #ComingUpRoses, and this challenge is given by Rosa with Sun and Moon Arts, and I will put her link in the description box, and I will also put the link of as many of the creators that are also doing the challenge. I will put their link in my description box as well. I might not know about everybody that's doing it, but I can at least put some of the ones that Rosa had mentioned earlier. So this challenge is an interesting one. The name is Coming Up Roses, and so basically what that means is when things get better. So I decided that I would make this very, very personal, and I find that collaging for me is personal and therapeutic, and so I dug into my past a bit for this one. So it looks a little bit dark because my childhood was dark and it was a very difficult time. And there were a lot of things that I had to go through, and then subsequently as a teenager I had to get through, and then I had to, as a young adult, take responsibility for other people's actions and fix myself. And so I did do that, and so this challenge, Coming Up Roses, is kind of a neat thing for me because, first of all, rose is my favorite flower, but also because I have overcome so much in my life, and I'm very proud to say that I have overcome so much in my life. And so you'll see in this collage, at the bottom of it, some darkness there. This collage will read as a story, and if you start at the bottom, that would represent my childhood. And then as we progress up, it signifies change and fear. We have brace yourself here, and there's a person holding on to a child who is being drawn up, and originally the paper is from the illustration is from a calendar that I took apart, and actually the child was being taken up by her kite, but in this illustration it's surrounded by some dark flowers and some skulls and some things from a cemetery. And so that represents the bad stuff that was going on in my life as a child, and bracing myself. I put that on there because looking back, I really did have to brace myself, even though I didn't know that that's what I was having to do. I had to hang on tight so that I didn't give up. And there were times when I had given up, and there were times when I did not want to be part of life anymore. So that's the darkness that you see on the bottom. And then as it progresses, I add these papers that say Ever Forward, and there's a girl, and she is looking through a telescope, and she's standing on this stairway, but everything is moving in an upward pattern. So I like to use this to symbolize my young adulthood, as I came to grips with my past and all of the things that were causing me so much damage in my present. And so I I did make some changes in my life, and I did seek counseling so that I could learn to cope and be part of the present lifetime as opposed to being sucked in the black hole of the past. And so the top of my collage represents that moving forward part. And I'm very fortunate and happy to say that I have a wonderful life now, and a beautiful life, and a beautiful family, and I have everything I ever really wanted when I was a very, very, very young child, before bad things started to happen to me. And so I've been able to overcome all of that, and I'm really grateful to say that. I know that there are a lot of people out there that go through very difficult times, and they're really never able to get through it, to work through it, and to then have a healthy, wonderful life. And it takes a lot of work, but fortunately I did that. And so as we look at the top of this collage, we see that the flowers are brighter and fuller, and that represents me and my life. So now I have all of the paper pieces on, and I'm going to go ahead and use some paint to darken up some areas and then also lighten some areas. And I'm beginning with a bronze paint so that I can tone down some of the tan or browns that are on this piece. I'm going in now with a paint. It's called Black Diamond, so it's black, but it's like a metallic black. So I'm gonna go in and do some of the edges of the torn papers. While using the darker colors, I will stay near the bottom of this piece of work. I go about midway with some of it, but I'm not going to go any higher. I'll be using the lighter colors near the top. Now I'm using some black ink, stamping ink, and I'm going around the edges, but also you'll notice that I'm using it on the blues that are in the collage. And because they were pretty bright, and they're at the bottom, and I don't want really any brightness at the bottom. So I'm just going over things and roughing them up, if you will, with the stamp ink. For the top part of the collage, I'm using white and a very, very, very light pink, and then also a really light kind of tan color. And I'm just highlighting the flowers to make them even a little bit brighter than they are. And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going through and I'm highlighting some areas just to bring some brightness to the top, so that there's definitely a difference and a contrast between the top and the bottom. Here is the completed piece. I am very pleased with this piece of work. This is a close-up of the bottom, and now we have a close-up of the top, and here it is in full. I hope you have enjoyed watching me create this piece of artwork. Thanks for watching. See you soon.